Today I'm going to show you how to summon Exodia in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel in 2022. So to just go over the deck list real quick before we get into the gameplay, you're going to want all 5 pieces of Exodia, of course. You're going to want to take 2 Blue Eyes White Dragon. You want 3 White Stone of Legends. This is going to be your Dragon Tuner. You'll see that combo later. And then the most important card that you need to draw on turn 1 or else you lose. Like I said, it's a gamble. But you got to get the Royal Magical Library. Every time you place a spell, you put a counter on this card. When it gets to 3 counters, you get to draw another card. Next, you'll want 1 Blue Eyes Toon Dragon, 3 Upstart Goblins, 3 Toon Table of Contents, 1 Terraforming, 1 Magical Mallet. This is essentially going to be your get out of jail free card. You want 3 Dark World Dealings, 3 Trade-In, 2 Cards of Consonance, 3 Into the Voids, 1 Duality, 3 Pseudo Space, and 3 Chicken Games. So we're going to jump into a game right now, and I'm going to show you how this combo works, and we're going to summon Exodia in a ranked match. Alright, so unfortunately, our opponent did win the coin toss. They're going to be going first. Usually, if you don't go first, you probably lost. But we did draw Magical Library and Magical Mallet. This gives us access to a pretty nice loop. So hopefully they don't do any like negates or traps or spells or anything like that. And they just send it over to our turn. And like I said, usually if you go turn 2, you probably lost. But you never know. We're going to try. Okay, very nice. So they actually didn't do too much. That 1 card in Spell Trap is freaking me out. But like I said, we do have some loops here. So first things first, you got to drop Magical Library right away to start those spell counter loops going. We'll go Into the Void. This is basically just a free draw. An Upstart Goblin is fantastic because that's a free draw as well. We'll drop another Into the Void. Again, a free draw and a free spell. So we got Magical Library. I don't want that, but we do have our Get Out of Jail free card. But before we do that, we're going to drop Upstart. This will let us draw a card, and it's also going to put the 3rd spell counter on our Magical Library. So what we're going to do now is we're going to activate this effect. It's the first thing you want to do. You have to activate that effect. We just drew so many monsters. That's not what you want at all. But like I said, we got Get Out of Jail free card. So we're going to put 5 cards in our hand back into the deck. So sometimes you got to get a little weird with this because some of the draws are just so bizarre. Like, I can't believe I see all 3 of my Magical Libraries in the opening hand. That's ridiculous. So we're going to put everything back in. Now that gives us 5 chances to get some new spell loops, and we got just that. So this is what we're going to do. We have 1 spell card, or 1 spell counter. So the first thing you want to do, as soon as you get Toon Table, drop your Toon Table. You never want to accidentally draw any of your Toon loop. And unfortunately, we did. So now this extra Toon Table will just be used as a discard later. But that's fine, because now, drop another Toon Table. We'll grab our Blue Eyes. That gives us 3 spell counters on our Royal Magical Library. So we're going to draw here. And let's see what we can do. So we have Duality and Void. So Duality is going to give us an opportunity to find our next loop. But first thing we're going to do is go into the Void. Just a free draw. Let's just drop that. Get that out of the way. So now Duality. How many counters do we have? We have 1 counter. So we need 2 more spells. So we're going to drop Duality. Hopefully there's a Chicken Game because that'll give us access to a loop. Okay, Terraforming. We're going to go Terraforming on this one. Because I want to do my Field Spell loop now. So this is what we're going to do here. So since we have Pseudo Space already and Terraforming, we're going to do our Field Spell loop. So we're going to drop this. This will also put 3 spell counters on our Royal Magical Library. So I'm going to grab Chicken Game. And like I said, you have your Toon loop. And now we have our Field Spell loop. So watch this. First things first, though. Always use your Magical Library effect. Never, ever forget to do that because you will lose. Next, what we're going to do, we have Upstart. But I do want to go into our Field Spell loop. So I'm going to drop Chicken Game into our Field Spell. This will allow us to pay 1,000 life points, which we don't care about, and draw 1 card. So that's a free draw right there. We got Trade-In, which is fantastic. This lets us draw 2 cards. These are some of your most powerful combos in this deck as you draw 2 cards. Next, what we're going to do, though, is activate Pseudo Space. So it's going to send Chicken Game to the graveyard. But what we can do with Pseudo Space is banish a field spell in our grave and copy it. So we're going to copy Chicken Game. We're going to activate Pseudo Space, which is now Chicken Game. Pay 1,000 life points. Draw a card. No problem. So unfortunately, we have 1 too many monsters. I don't really like that. But that's okay because we have some really good opportunities coming up. So we got 2 spell counters. Upstart is going to let us draw a card. Royal Magical Library will let us draw a card. So we get 2 draws right there, which keeps us in the game, which is super important. Now we have Pseudo Space again. Not the best draw, but we have Trade-In and Upstart. So now we're going to be able to get 3 draws minimum here, which is really, really nice. We got Chicken Game, so we can continue our Field Spell loop. Let's just do that. Let's drop Chicken Game. That's going to go into our Field Spell. And what we'll do now is we will activate it, pay 1,000 life points. We don't care. but we want to draw that card. Now we got another trade in, but we're still in our field spell loop, right? So we're going to go back to pseudo space. Pseudo space is going to... Oh, before we do that, always got to activate your magical library effect. Don't ever forget that. Okay, nice. We have a discard, so we'll get into that next. But we're going to activate pseudo space. We're going to banish our chicken game. We're going to copy it. And now we're going to pay 1,000 life points, draw a card. Nice and simple. All right, nice. So we have a couple of options here. We actually have some nice options. So first thing I'm going to do is I want to get rid of this library, right? Essentially, the rest of your magical libraries become discards. So this card right here that we just activated, Dark World Dealings, you get to draw a card, discard a card. Don't need magical library anymore, discard them. And next, what we're going to do, now we have a bunch of cards that allow us to draw two. This is fantastic. So we're going to go Cards of Consonance. What this lets us do here is it lets us get rid of our Dragon Tuner, which is why you have the Stone of Legend. Draw two. Beautiful. That also will give us access to our next Blue Eyes. We have a lot of Blue Eyes. And now, oh my goodness, this is getting really good. So what I'm going to do next is I don't need all three of these Blue Eyes. I just need two of them. So I'm going to get rid of one, right? So we're going to drop Dark World Dealings. We're going to draw a card. And we're going to discard one of our Blue Eyes. We don't need them right now. We're going to wait for our opponent to discard. Let's see how many. We have 10 cards left in the deck, 4 of which are Exodia pieces. So what we're going to do next, we have our Magical Library effect. Got to drop that immediately. We're going to draw. We got another trade in. Oh, I forgot. Okay, so that's all right. That can be used as something for later. What we're going to do next is we're going to continue our field spells. Let's continue that. I shouldn't have got rid of that Blue Eyes. That was a mistake, but that's okay. It's not the worst. I should have got rid of the Toon Table of Contents, but we're still in this one. It's okay. Remember, you want to pay attention to what cards you're discarding and what cards you've used already to keep your loops going. But next, what we're going to do, we just activated Chicken Game. Now we have trade-in, but I'm perfectly okay with it because we're about to draw like 4 cards right here, which is going to be great. So we'll get rid of 1 Blue Eyes. And we got Pseudo Space, so we can continue our field spell loop. I want to continue that field spell loop, so we'll go back to Pseudo Space. Pseudo Space gives us our 3rd spell counter. Activate Royal Magical Library. Let's draw a card. We have 3 Exodia pieces with 5 cards left in the deck, so we're looking pretty good. We'll activate Pseudo Space. We'll copy Chicken Game. This will let us draw another card. Pay 1,000 life points, but it doesn't matter. We don't need life points for this deck. And that is 4 pieces of Exodia, and it's looking pretty good right here. So we'll go another trade-in. This will let us draw 2 for discarding. Is it an Exodia piece? It is not, but we got Dark World Dealings, which lets us discard, which is very nice. So we will discard here. Let's discard our Royal Magical Library. I think we got it. Let's discard Royal Magical Library and wait for them to discard. Moment of truth here. It's in our hand. We got the pieces. We just need our opponent to discard, and that is going to be the game. They discarded, and let's summon Exodia the Forbidden One and win the duel on our first turn. GG's, that is how you play Exodia in 2022. Such a fun deck to play. It's such a gamble because everything can go wrong, from not going first to not drawing Magical Library. But when it works, it is the best deck of all time. That's Exodia the Forbidden One right there. If you guys want some more Yu-Gi-Oh! On the channel, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm going to see you all in the next one.